Hey everybody, what's going on? We're here on the free-to-play, and we finally have what is a fairly reliable Dragons B12 team. We had to pivot a few times in the process of building it, so we're going to go through and take a look at everybody, talk about the process a little bit, take a look at their gear, and hopefully help some of you guys sort this out, because this is a tough problem. DB12 is a tough problem. Especially if you don't have Tricaru runes and you're not ready to do that, and you're trying to get another team rolling, this can be kind of tough to do reasonably. So this will fail sometimes. It's well over 90% success though. I would even say we're venturing into over 95% success rate. I rarely get a fail at this point, and it's only going to get better because I'm going to really try to grind out some level ups in my towers over the next couple of days. So we have our guard tower maxed finally, which is important. That's an important thing to do. Hey, buddy. So that's behind us. We don't ever have to think about the guard tower again, which is really nice. I'm going to start on my speed tower because I think the speed tower is a big help. I think adding speed to everybody in my roster is going to be really nice. And in my experience on my main account, putting levels in my speed tower really helped my Tricaru team kind of level up into that, into success. So that was one of the important towers that I invested in. So we're probably going to lean pretty heavily into the speed tower next. Now, I have tried a few different things, and I wanted to do a little bit differently this time as well than I did on my main. So we went ahead and fused Sig, which is very different than what we've done before. We are using Verd, and I did go in and rework my Verd, and we'll talk about that. I 2A'd Bella because we love Bella, and I wanted to get Bella involved. I tried this with Bastet and just couldn't get it working the way I wanted it to. So we pivoted out of that. I was trying to do Sig, Verd, Bella, Vero, Lauren. And what was happening with this setup was that we were doing a decent job of knocking back Terminator on the dragon and stripping the immunity and all of that. But the problem was we were getting a slow on the dragon and not on the right tower. So the right tower was just running through turns. So it was constantly cleansing and putting immunity back on the dragon. So even though we could strip it, in theory, it kind of got to the point where we know Lauren's AI is just going to use her A2 whenever. I feel like she doesn't just use it when it's available. I don't know what makes her use it. It's not a buff because I've watched her go 4 turns in a row with a buff up and not strip it. So I don't know what her AI does. It's very weird. Bella, on the other hand, will strip as soon as he can if there's a buff available. So he's really reliable in that sense. But the problem was that with Lauren doing whatever it is Lauren wants to do, Bella got to the point where the cooldown wasn't ready every time immunity went up because that right tower was just running through turns, right? So we would do pretty well, and then we would get the dragon below 30% health. What is... Why?
Still on it.
Why? What are you on? Get off of it. What was I even talking about? Siri just trying to join the conversation. What was I talking about? I don't even know if you guys heard that. My phone just started talking back to me, telling me she was on it. Like I'd asked for something. And now I have no idea what I was talking about. Anyway, Bella couldn't keep the immunity off faster than the tower could put it up. And we would get, that's what it was. We would get down to like the 30% mark where the dragon starts doing more damage. Sometimes we get caught with some debuffs on us. Dragon would hit us, wipe too much of the team. We couldn't recover. So they'd regularly get him pretty low, but it would fall apart in the late stages of the run. So I thought, okay, well then what we're going to do is we're going to swap out Lauren for Spectra. So we did that. We built our Spectra. We'll probably look to 2A our Spectra at some point as well. The Spectra is not only great for this, but also really helpful in a lot of the other 2A dungeons. Really nice for POA hard. Very, very usable in many places. So we may be looking at Spectra for the next 2A. And then I had to pivot my build a couple of times on Spectra. I wanted to do speed crit damage, tank stat on slot 6, right? I wanted that damage out of Spectra. but I was a little ahead of myself, right? So we had to pivot our build on Spectra and come back to just survivability and accuracy with a decent amount of speed. I came up off the Swift set because I realized I don't need Spectra to be crazy fast for this or anything. I'm not trying to break records with speed. I need consistency. I need survivability. I need accuracy. I need my runs to get wins, right? So let's go in here real quick. Start another bunch up while we do this. Give me some good shield runes. See, like, and we're already we're already getting runes that are going to be upgrades for our team, and that's a nice thing about this. Even if we get fails occasionally, we're farming runes that are going to ultimately upgrade the team we're using. So we're going to get this to a point where it stops failing completely. Okay. So we know that my guard tower is maxed. I've started to put levels in my speed tower, but it is like, you know, it's basically just born, right? I've basically just placed it. We've got a long way to go, but that's probably where I'm putting most of my glory points next. All right. I may pivot it to a little bit into something else, but for now, I'm pretty much exclusively planning to go with speed tower. Okay. So let's take a look at everybody's build. All right. We've got our Sig, who has no skill ups and will probably remain that way. I don't see myself using more to get skill ups here, and I'm definitely not going to put Devilmons into Sig. I like Sig a lot, but I've got way more important units to put Devilmons in at this point. So here's what we're working with so far. We have Fatal Focus. I really want that freeze when possible. Sig actually has some pretty good debuffs all around. So we went speed, crit damage, HP, and I mean, Sig's not going down, right? Sig's water. We're fine. So let me. So that's what we did. Speed, crit damage, HP. We looked for some crit stats in the subs. We're over 50% crit rate. It's not amazing. We've got a decent amount of HP. You don't really have to worry too much attack because a lot of the damage we're doing is coming from the enemy's max HP. So you don't have to lean into a lot of attack stats, but the crit stats can be pretty helpful. So I wanted crit stats. I wanted a little bit of survivability, and I wanted accuracy and then a decent amount of speed. We ended up with a decent amount of speed. It's nothing crazy though. It doesn't have to be anything wild, right? You can follow that blueprint. And if you've got Fatal, if you've got Rage, if you've got Swift, you know what I mean? If you just got 2 sets, it doesn't really matter. You want to throw a Blade set on and lean less into the accuracy. I feel like the freezes are helping us a bit in the waves though, so that's why I'm leaning into accuracy. For artifacts, I'm not really even thinking about artifacts right now. I'm kind of just throwing something on there so that they have something. But that's that, you know. I guess in a perfect world, I'll start looking for stuff like extra damage to fire, damage taken from fire, extra damage based on blah blah, stuff like that, right? For Verd, if you remember, I initially had him on that Swift set. I decided to kind of force him onto a violent set and bring him back down so that he's the slowest. Is he the slowest? I think he's the slowest on the team now. That was the goal. I wasn't sure if I was able to hit it, but we went with HP, crit rate, and defense because I was, again, having trouble keeping him alive. Being an attack unit, his base tank stats are kind of low. He doesn't have affinity advantage in there. So when he gets hit, it hurts. And when he dies, it sucks. So I was trying to do kind of a hybrid, let him have some damage. It wasn't working out. I just sucked it up and went full survivability. Make sure you get him at that 100 crit rate. And then speed, he doesn't need a ton. Slowest on the team is nice because he helps your team cycle back around at their second turn a lot quicker. And he is also not skilled up. I'm not in a hurry to skill him up. I will maybe over time as I pull more vampires, but I'm not in a huge hurry to skill him up right now. Maybe when I start trying to build Trikaru, it's going to be a little bit more important to have him skilled up. For now, I don't think it's that big of a deal, okay? So we went violent, and again, we went HP, crit rate, defense. I would go HP there if I could. I just didn't have it at the time. The reason being is that you catch a lot of defense breaks in these waves from the crystals, and if one of your survivability stats is defense, when you get defense broken, you're going to be in trouble. So HP, you can kind of survive that defense break a little bit easier. So when I can, I'm going to move him up to an HP rune, but for now it's defense. And then again, in his subs, I did look for a little bit of speed because I don't want him to be crazy slow. And then any damage stats I could get, I took. But again, our options are fairly limited right now, right? We don't have a ton of violent runes. For our Bella, we're on Swift Focus. This is what the stats are looking like. Not a bad Bella for where we're at. Not a bad Bella for where we're at. Speed, accuracy, HP percentage are basically the stats we're focusing here. So that's what I looked for anywhere I could get it. And it's just a very standard Swift Focus build. Again, this would be HP if I had it, but don't yet. So that's that. For Vero, he's wearing the violent runes the game gives you at some point early on. And we're going speed, HP. I'll probably max these just to give him the extra HP. But Veramo's kind of the same way. We're looking for speed. I do like accuracy. I don't think it's as important as someone like Bella, where we need to make sure we get that strip. We want to land that defense down every chance we get. I don't think it's as important, but it is nice to get the stuns through the waves. So a little bit of accuracy is definitely not a bad idea. He's fairly reliable with the stuns. Speed, HP, speed, HP, and accuracy as the sub focuses, and you'll be fine. And then for our Spectra, we already talked about it a little bit. Just double energy focus. Spectra, I was just having such a hard time keeping alive, and I don't really know why. Like, I was having a harder time keeping him alive than Verd. He's got higher defense, but lower base HP. They just can't wait to kill Spectra, dude. He would drop so quick. So we had to pivot off of any damage and just worry about speed, HP, and accuracy. So you're kind of seeing a theme for the team, right? And that's it. Energy, focus, speed, HP, defense. Would love HP there. We got a decent HP sub. That's kind of okay. Pretty efficient rune overall. What we're going for right now. And that's it. That's the team. They, as I said, are doing pretty well. Every now and then, Spectra still goes down. I'll check in on them and see how they're doing. And Spectra will be dead before we even get to the dragon, which is really annoying because I've really tried to keep him alive. But that's just the way it goes sometimes. But generally, we do okay. He probably needs a little bit more accuracy because, as you saw, the tower just got resisted. Although I have brought units in here before with 100 accuracy, and the tower will still resist stuff sometimes. So sometimes that's just the way it's going to be. But for the most part, it's very reliable. I don't think I've seen Bella miss the strip yet, which is nice. Also, I don't think I've seen Bella miss a defense down yet. So Bella's been very, very reliable on the build we have Bella on. And Spectra's mostly reliable, but every now and then he goes down. So anyway, that's it. That's our first Dragons B12 team on the free-to-play. I think it's over a 95% success rate at this point. I'm going to continue to farm it until I can make upgrades to the team themselves and get it to 100% success rate. Then we're going to run it for a while. I'm going to start to try to pile up these guard runes, and I think it's probably time to start thinking about getting our units for Trikaru in place. So we're probably gonna, I've gone ahead and locked the 3 I'm gonna use. I've got a ton of fire Unugamis in my storage for skill ups. I'm gonna start getting these guys awakened, 6-starred, 2nd awakened. So over the course of the next several weeks, we're going to be farming a lot of dragon to get guard runes in place and get these guys built. And I guess in the next, I don't know, month or so, perhaps, we start trying to get that team running. Okay, so that's kind of the plan for that for now. And yeah, that's it. Time to farm. We got something sorted, so it's time to farm. So that's it. That's the update for the free-to-play for today. We'll be back soon with some more news, I reckon.